Namaskaram. Welcome to day 58 of the Safe Soil Journey. So, yesterday we were looking at organic clothing and how it can help you. We're also looking at why we should wear loose fitting, unstitched clothing as much as possible because it doesn't restrict the flow of energy and to avoid synthetic or polyfiber, etc. So, this is something I hope you are able to experiment with it. And as you know, another thing is even environmental concerns because polyfiber, hardly 1% of the clothing which is polyfiber is recycled and they end up getting into landfills, which is a major source of environmental concern because it is getting into the soil, in water, in air, and whatnot. So, not just for environmental concerns but also for your own health and well being, it is best if you can switch to organic clothing rather than wearing synthetic or polyfiber or any other synthetic material, and also seeing if you can wear loose fitting clothing. So, we were exploring about this, and I just thought that we can also touch upon how the color of the clothing can make an impact on our consciousness. So, generally, you would have noticed that, uh, especially people on the spiritual path, they either you may have seen them wearing orange or ochre and also white. So, both these colors have a special significance. You will see that uh, orange or ochre, actually, it's ochre, it's the color of the Agna chakra, which is which is around this color. So for a person who wants to give up everything and you know develop a new light and start life afresh, you'll see generally people who are on the path of renunciation or on sannyasa, so monks, they generally wear ochre or orange colored clothing because they want to just give up everything and start their life afresh. So, for that reason, this color is very supportive, and you will also see that generally these monks, they may also dip their clothes in the earth once in a while, because this is something which is a constant reminder for them that they're coming from the earth and that is where we'll all be going to. So it is a way of reminding yourself as well. So generally you'll see that people on the spiritual path, they'll be wearing orange, and this has a special significance. But if you wish to remain in the spiritual path and still involve yourself with all the situations outside, when you are wearing orange, it's like you want to cut off from everything else. But if you wear white, then this is something which indicates a certain purity. So you will see that people, especially on the path of meditation, yoga, a lot of them, they wear white because white is something which is all inclusive, and this is very very helpful for you, especially if you want to be in situations outside, if you want to get involved in all the situations outside and not get affected by it, then white is something which is very conducive, because white is a color is of all inclusiveness, and this is also something which reflects everything. So if you wear white, you will see that you can get into whatever situations you want but still not get affected by it. So white is very conducive. So this is something which we can definitely make use of, especially if you are in the family path and you want to be involved with everything outside and still be on the spiritual path, then white is very conducive. If you wear black, then black is something which is conducive only if you are in a powerful energetic space, because black absorbs everything. So if you wear black and if you go into a powerful energy space, let's say if you go to the ashram or Dhyanlinga, etc., then black is very good because it helps you imbibe the energies of the space. But if you go wearing black into some other space, then it is not conducive because you may tend to attract things which are not conducive for you, and it may create instability, etc., in the body, and it may lead to suffering in many ways. So normally nowadays people are not choosing the type of clothing according to the situation. They're just wearing whatever is in fashion or whatever is convenient. So in especially tropical countries where the weather is warm, wearing black is not at all conducive. One thing is, it will absorb all the heat and you'll feel unnecessarily warm, which is definitely not needed. Apart from that, as we looked at the energy aspect, because you tend to absorb everything from outside, which may even be negative, you're trying to absorb that. So it is best if you are in such situations, especially if you are working with people around you, white is best because it is reflecting. If not white, maybe even lighter colors, it is much better for the system. So black, it's become a fashionable thing nowadays. A lot of us wear black, so try to see if you can minimize black, unless you are in a very high energetic space where you want to absorb everything around you. Otherwise, see if you can avoid black. Apart from that, there are other colors. You may have seen people wearing like red, which is a color of exuberance. You may have seen Linga Bhairavi Devi, everything is kind of red, the clothing, etc., because it signifies a certain exuberance. You may have noticed people wearing blue, which is again a color of like all inclusiveness. You may have seen how Shiva's body or Krishna's body, they are, it's like, it's considered like their aura is blue, because if they have attained to a certain level within themselves, their aura will become blue. So it's like a color of all inclusiveness. You may have also seen people, some monks wearing yellow, which is like the color of the Muladhara chakra, which is very good if you want to stabilize the system. So like this, there are various colors. If you see each of these colors, it is something, the color which you are seeing is because it is reflecting, it is basically reflecting that color. So anything is red, that means from all the colors of white, the light, it is actually absorbing all the other colors but reflecting the red color. It is rejecting or giving away the red color, so that's why it appears red. So this is something you may have noticed. So red or blue or yellow, so different kinds of colors are there. So generally you will see, for most people, they'll on the spiritual path, they'll tend to prefer lighter colors or white colors, because it is more conducive for their overall well-being, especially when they are in situations and getting involved with everything outside. It is best they can do that. So please see whichever color is suitable for you based on the situation. For many people who have gone through different kinds of sadhana, like Mahashivratri sadhana or Shivanga sadhana or Bhairavi sadhana, as part of the sadhana, for about 40 days or so, they would prescribe wearing only a certain type of clothing which is white or light in color, so that you make so during that period at least, you don't kind of absorb something which is not needed for your system, and you can walk the path much more effortlessly. In many other programs in Isha, for example, Samyama, which is a silence program with Sadhguru, they'll either suggest you wear only white clothing or orange clothing. So generally these are preferred for people who are on the spiritual path, and you see which whatever the situation, and you can choose accordingly. So please share if this is something which you have been implementing, if you have been wearing more light colored clothing or white colored, and did you feel any difference when you were wearing different kinds of colors. So it will be nice to hear from all of you. Namaskaram.